Okay, let's dive into a mystery that starts out looking like a pretty straightforward homicide, but trust me, it twists into something else entirely. It all kicks off with one simple, chilling fact: a body found behind a locked door.
So here's the setup. It's 10:20 p.m. Olivia Carter is discovered in her home, but right away the first details the police gather don't really point to a random break-in. No, this feels much more personal and way more disturbing.
And this is the central puzzle of the whole crime scene. There's no forced entry, not a scratch on the door. There's no sign of a struggle inside. In fact, all the evidence suggests the door was opened from the inside, which means Olivia willingly let her killer in. All the clues are pointing to one terrifying conclusion.
This is the question that's now at the very heart of the case for Detective Marcus Reed. You know, when trust itself is the murder weapon, your suspect list immediately starts with the people who are closest to the victim. And in this case, well, nobody was closer than her husband.
So, first up is the prime suspect, Olivia's husband, Daniel Carter. At first glance, the case against him seems pretty clear-cut, but as we're about to see, it starts to fall apart almost immediately. And here is the detective's big problem. On one side, you've got all the classic motives, right? They'd been fighting, there were financial problems. But on the other side, he's got a rock-solid alibi. He was at his office from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m., and this isn't just his word for it. It's confirmed by security cameras and phone records. With an alibi that strong, the initial investigation basically has to conclude that he's clear. The case just slams into a dead end. But Detective Reed, he's got this nagging feeling. One piece of this seemingly perfect puzzle just doesn't feel right. So, the big break in the case comes from the one place where so many of our modern secrets are kept: the victim's phone. A closer look at Olivia's final moments reveals a kind of digital ghost.
Reed pulls Olivia's call log, and bam, there it is. Her very last call was at 9:58 p.m., and it was from her husband, Daniel. But wait a minute, how could Daniel possibly call her at that time when his airtight alibi puts him miles away, sitting at his office desk?
The detective plays the recording of the call, and the mystery just gets deeper. It is, without a doubt, Daniel's voice. You can hear it plain as day. "Open the door. I'm downstairs." The evidence is concrete, yet it's completely impossible. This contradiction forces Reed to go back and re-examine every single detail of that perfect alibi.
That's when the detective realizes Daniel didn't have to be physically present to make it look like he was calling. He digs back into the office security tapes and finds it. Daniel used a colleague's phone and a simple app to spoof his own number. It wasn't a conversation, it was a signal.
But this brings us back to the big question. Daniel couldn't be in two places at once. The CCTV proves he was at the office when he made that call. So if he wasn't the one who walked through that door, who was? The answer, it turns out, is a dark and very calculated conspiracy. So the detective heads back to the crime scene. He knows this digital trick must have had a physical accomplice. Now he just needs to figure out how that person got into the apartment. And there it is, a tiny detail that seemed completely insignificant before, a window left just slightly ajar, leading directly to the fire escape. And suddenly, all the horrifying pieces of the plan just click into place.
So this was the plan all along. Daniel's younger brother was waiting on the fire escape. From the safety of his office, with a perfect alibi, Daniel made the spoof signal call. Olivia, hearing her husband's voice, trusted it completely and walked to open the door, only to be met by his brother. Daniel was the mastermind. His brother was the triggerman.
So, with the brother's confession in hand, the case is officially solved. It's a tragic story of greed, manipulation, and family betrayal. The mystery is over, right? But as the confession settles in the quiet of the interrogation room, Detective Reed just can't shake one detail, a single, crucial number from the initial report that makes this entire, perfect story completely impossible. He says it out loud: one thing doesn't match. And this, right here, is where our story pivots from a clever crime thriller into something else entirely. Something much, much colder. Okay, fact number one, the medical examiner's report. It was precise. It was absolute. Olivia Carter's official time of death was 9:50 p.m. And now for fact number two. The phone company's records. They are equally absolute. That signal call, the one that was supposed to lure Olivia to the door, was made at 9:58 p.m. Do you see it?
The plan, as they confessed it, could not have worked. The timeline is absolutely impossible. When Daniel made that call to his wife, Olivia had already been dead for 8 minutes.
This single fact just shatters the entire case. The confession, the motive, the perfect plan, all of it relied on Olivia being alive to answer that call. But she couldn't have, and that leaves all of us with one final and frankly terrifying question.
Remember the brother's confession? He said that when the apartment door opened, he saw no one. So if Olivia was already dead and she didn't open that door, what did? The story just leaves us hanging, wondering what truly answered Daniel's signal and what his brother really found waiting for him on the other side.